Spencer Pratt is surging in the LA mayor's race, but the Democratic Socialists of America, they're fighting back hard. One DSA council member is already pushing to let non-citizens vote in elections. Think it won't happen where you live? Think again. Promise made, promise kept. 41 million Americans have no retirement plan, but President Trump just did something about it.
This will be really revolutionary because they'll be covered.
What this means for you and what else is in the pipeline. Spirit Airlines, known for its cheap flights and fights at its ticket counters, is no more. And now many Americans are pointing the finger at Elizabeth Warren and the Biden administration for its collapse. What really happened? I'll explain. Hi everyone, good to see you. I'm Stella. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I want to get you caught up on some news you can use and you can go on with your day.
This is where Mayor Bass lives. You notice something? Or here, where Nithya Raman's $3 million mansion sits. They don't have to live in the mess they've created where you live. This is where I live. They let my home burn down.
This is Spencer Pratt, and yes, he is running for mayor of Los Angeles, and yes, he is gaining a lot of momentum. And look, I know what some of you may be thinking, why do I care about Los Angeles? Here is why. The Democratic Socialists of America, DSA, they're coming to a city near you. Remember, Zohran Mamdani, DSA member? Yeah, he just won NYC. Now they have their eyes on Los Angeles. Nithya Raman, we will talk about her in just a moment. But first, I want to talk about another DSA council member in LA. Hugo Soto-Martinez is now pushing a plan to let non-citizens vote in Los Angeles city elections, mayor, city council, LA Board of Education. Now, Martinez is up for re-election in the June 2nd primaries, and none of his challengers are DSA members.
I certainly recognize that we have folks living in this country who've been here 20 years, they've started a family, they pay their taxes, many of them are homeowners, but they don't have a say over the policies that affect their children and their families on any given day. The motion only asks to seek to explore whether we want to head in that direction. I think the details of who's going to be involved, how we're going to do it, all that needs to get sussed out.
Now, also backing this non-citizen voting plan is Marissa Roy. She is a DSA candidate for city attorney. Now, listen to how radical these people are. Roy crafted a plan to stop prosecuting misdemeanors for 100 days. Crimes like theft, vandalism, trespassing, just a pause. So a free pause for criminals to have at it. So not only do they want non-citizens to vote, they want their city attorney to stop prosecuting crime. Now back to the mayor's race. Here is Nithya Raman as a city council member voting against keeping homeless encampments away from schools.
I mean, it's like, I don't think a kid's going to be safer because a tent is 500 feet away from a school.
Constituents booing her, you heard that. That is the same DSA candidate that Kalshi and Polymarket project to win the mayor's race. But don't believe the lies. The mayoral race is nonpartisan. Every voter has an equal say. If Angelenos show up and vote for Spencer Pratt on June 2nd during the primaries and shut her out, she doesn't win and she doesn't go on to the November elections. It's that simple. DSA counts on you staying home. So don't stay home. It's also important to note that anyone who gets more than 50% of the vote in the primaries actually automatically wins. If they don't, it then goes to a runoff in the general election in November. Listen to Spencer Pratt saying he's fighting for LA moms and children.
As I've been campaigning, the thing that has impacted me the most is meeting hundreds and hundreds of moms. And they're the most activated people in Los Angeles right now. And you know why? Because they don't feel safe. Moms send me messages with stories and videos that are so disturbing. If I were to share them on my accounts, they'd get banned. Crazy drug addicts exposing themselves to their children, hardcore drug use, assaults. It's shocking what LA moms have to endure because of the reckless policies of Karen Bass and Nithya Raman, who really just don't care about their concerns. It's really shifted my vision in a very real way. I'm realizing that my true mission as mayor is to protect our moms. They need to feel safe. They're scared to just walk their baby stroller to the park and enjoy the weather. They're scared to grab their mobile order at Starbucks. They're on pins and needles sending their kids off to school. I'm sorry, but how have we accepted this? As a man, as a father, nothing is more important than the safety of my children and my wife. Women and children first. We have that maxim for a reason. It's true in an emergency, and it's that's true for this election. Women and children first. If I accomplish nothing else as mayor, it will be to make moms and their kids feel safe in the city of Los Angeles again.
Spencer Pratt lost his home in the devastating Palisades fire. He's been outspoken about the corruption at City Hall, mismanagement of funds, the homeless crisis, the same failure that Angelenos live with every single day. And those failures happen under the current mayor, Karen Bass. Under her watch, she's also running in the mayor's race for re-election. The same Bass who was in Ghana when the fires broke out and Angelenos lost everything. But now she's taking shots at Pratt because, well, he's a threat. Listen.
Honestly, before this, I had never heard of Spencer Pratt. So
well, you aren't missing out on anything, so it's okay, but please go on.
Exactly. But the thing I am concerned and feel about him is that I feel like he's exploiting the grief of people in the Palisades. And I think that's
right.
just reprehensible. That's the main thing. And I think he is about his own celebrity. He's famous now again.
She went on to tout her experience in government, to which Spencer said on social media, if she is so experienced with governance, why is she so bad at governance? Again, local elections matter. DSA is organized, they're funded, and they are on your ballot. June 2nd, Los Angeles, show up.
In my State of the Union earlier this year, I promised to make these same types of retirement accounts enjoyed by the federal employees available to all Americans. So that's what we're doing.
Well, President Trump just signed an executive order, and if you're not paying attention to this one, you should be. And here's why this matters. 41 million Americans between the ages of 18 and 65 have no access to an employer retirement plan through their job. Yeah, that's 41 million. Not because they don't want one, because their employer just simply doesn't offer it. Think about that. That could be your neighbor, your kids, your family member who, may be self-employed or doing gig work. So here's what the president just did. Starting next year, you will be able to go to TrumpIRA.gov and open your low-cost retirement account, same kind federal employees have. Now, if you make under $35,000 a year, the government will match what you put in up to $1,000 a year in your account.
Well, this is an amazing new concept that Donald Trump came up with. And you're talking about, as you just said, over 40 million people who will now not just be workers, Bill, but they'll be owners. They'll own companies as well by owning stock. You put in $1,000, the government will put in $500. Incidentally, if you start doing that, at age 22, 23, and you do that till you're 65, you're going to have $2 or $3 million in those accounts or more, Bill. So I love this. We're going to be a nation of owners today, and we're going to see. I think you're going to see huge numbers of people sign up right away for this. It's a good deal for workers.
This is only the first step. I was talking to Kevin Hassett a little while ago, and the people standing right behind me, we're going to take it to the next level. And the next level, Kevin, you're going to mention something, but the next level will be necessary to have congressional approval. What you just heard, we don't need congressional approval. And it'll never be terminated, because to terminate it, if somebody else is in office, to terminate it, you'd have to take that money away. You'd have to really take away something that's so positive. I don't think any politician would do it. But
so what is the next step? Well, right now, this match is for lower income Americans. But what about the middle class who don't have a retirement plan? Well, Trump and his economic team, they're now working with Congress to expand it to the middle class as well, and possibly beyond that. And they're looking at a model from Australia. Yeah, in Australia, employers are required to contribute to every single worker's retirement automatically. And by the way, this has nothing to do with Social Security. Trump's team made that clear. This is in addition to it. And look, maybe you already have a retirement account. Maybe you have an IRA, a 401k, but how safe is it? Because a lot of people see what is happening right now, inflation, policy decisions, where the economy is going, and none of this is hidden. But then you look at where people actually have their money, it's still in the same system. Retirement, savings, all tied to it. So I started to look into what options people even have. And one thing that kept coming up was physical gold, even through certain retirement accounts. I did speak with a company, Augusta Precious Metals, just to understand how that works. They explained the process. They answered all my questions. And honestly, most people don't even realize This is something they can do. And if you want to look into it as well, go to StellaTrustGold.com or text Stella to 35052. That's text Stella to 35052. Well, Spirit Airlines, known for its cheap flights and fights at its check-in counters, is no more. Yeah, after 35 years in the sky, it's over. The first significant U.S. airline to shut down in nearly 25 years. The airline had been on life support for months. Spirit filed for bankruptcy twice, most recently in August of last year. It had reached a deal with creditors in February, but 3 days later, that deal collapsed. The Trump administration offered a $500 million loan to save the airlines, but that deal ultimately fell apart as well. Now many Americans are pointing fingers at Senator Elizabeth Warren. Back in 2024, Spirit tried to merge with JetBlue, a deal that could have saved the airline. Warren, by the way, led the charge to block it, saying it would hurt consumers and raise prices. When the merger was killed, she took to social media and celebrated it, calling it a win for flyers. But now more than 17,000 employees are out of a job, and the flyers that Warren said she was protecting are finding new flights. So what does this mean for ticket holders? The airline is automatically refunding flights purchased with a credit card or debit card. Those who book through a third party need to contact them. Again, Elizabeth Warren said she was protecting the American traveler, but now it's hard to find much spirit in that promise. And that does it for me. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please continue to help me grow. Please like, please comment, and please subscribe. I'll see you next time.